So it's been getting a lot cooler now, and I haven't been spending nearly as much time outdoors. So I've been trying to find ways to make my space a little bit cozier and just enjoy the season and what it has to bring. As you could see, I have my candles here to create some ambiance. And so far, so good. Anyway, this time, what I want to do is just talk a little bit about how I am feeling as the year comes to a close, about my progress with dance and with life in general. And those are my thoughts for the moment. So maybe you'd like to get yourself something nice to drink too, and we'll have a cup of tea together. All right. So when it comes to setting goals, it seems as though there are basically two types of people. There are those people who are very organized and very structured about their approach to that. And they will create a plan and maybe even break their plan down into actionable steps that they can execute over time in order to eventually achieve their goal. On the other hand, you have those people who take a more flexible approach. And I've always been a bit in awe of the people who are so structured. And maybe this is something that I should even try more, but I'm not the girl that's going to be creating a vision board for next year. And I probably will not even make any New Year's resolutions. It's just not my style. Maybe because I don't follow through with these plans. It almost feels as though my goals are these very fragile things that if I verbalize them, they might just somehow just dissolve, just evaporate. And so I keep them in my mind. And I'm a very goal-oriented person. But I definitely prefer to keep things casual where it comes to setting goals for myself. I like to be a bit flexible with that. And where it comes to creating schedules for my dance practice, what I find works best for me nowadays is just to choose 1 or 2 goals. Don't get too ambitious, just 1 or 2, and then work on those gradually over time. And that way, I tend not to get as overwhelmed or discouraged by the possibility of not following through. And usually I do follow through when I take this approach. So I would definitely recommend it if you're like me and you find it a little overwhelming to set goals in certain areas and to create plans. This year, for me, it was my double pirouettes and being able to achieve a stable balance in attitude, position,
when I'm on demi point, especially on my left leg. And even though the year is nearly done, I still have some hope that I'll be able to accomplish these 2 goals. I would have been further ahead if it were not for a couple periods where I got distracted with life and things going on. And it only really takes a couple of weeks of complacency to lose the abilities that I gained. And I'm really hoping that with practice, my skills will really take root next year.
From the time that September comes, it just seems as though time is flying by so fast. And it makes you feel a certain kind of, I don't know, pressure maybe. Life has been very generous with me this year in many ways. And yet, there are some areas where it feels like the things that I want most are being withheld from me. So sometimes I hardly know whether to be happy or frustrated. Maybe I can be both at the same time. But yeah, I mean, progress in life can be quite elusive. A bit like my attitude balances. You know, it just takes time for things to gel, for them to come together.
But then on the other hand, there are some things in life that come more easily, like step over turns. I've been working on step over turns lately, and I have to say that this turn exemplifies the type of skill that I like to learn best. It's a fun turn that you can add to choreography to add a little bit of spice. In order to learn it, all you really have to do is understand the process and then practice it over and over and over and over again. Eventually, it will stick. I like the efficiency in learning this type of skill compared to something like pirouettes that you have to wait for. It could be months, it could be years for the elements of strength and coordination and balance to all come together. Maybe I'm forgetting about all of the years of practice that went into bringing me to the place where these turns feel more easy to me. Maybe. One thing with these turns is that you have to remember there's a transfer of weight from one leg to the other, and you have to see it coming, or else the turn is not going to work. And another thing that helps me is to just remember how to place my feet to achieve the best turnout that I possibly can. Those are the 2 things that I find have helped me while practicing.
So I've been keeping up with ballet, and it's been fun working on new skills like my step over turns. Lately, I've also been experimenting with different forms of dance movement, just ways of moving that may be more intuitive to me. And I found that it's a good way to be physically active and maybe add some more cardio into my routine, which is really important now that it's getting colder and I'm not able to walk as much as I normally do.
Over the last few years, I've definitely been noticing some changes. I have been filling out a lot more all over, which doesn't really bother me too much, except for my belly. And to keep that toned up, I've been working with styles of movement that really focus on the abdominal muscles adding some belly dance moves and the Caribbean way of moving into my routine. And with these styles of movement, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit rounder. So it makes me feel comfortable in how my body looks right now. Unfortunately, it's time to say farewell to my favorite long meandering walks and the breezy bike rides that I enjoy so much. But we've been really lucky to have many warm days for this time of year. And so I've been able to really get out there and take in the full splendor of fall. So the real question is, am I where I want to be with the year coming to a close? And I wish I could say yes with absolute certainty, but I don't think I can. I wish that I was at the point where I were hitting my double pirouettes every single time. But I'm pretty sure that I do have a better grasp of what I need to do in order to master these skills. And maybe I'm not falling quite as often. I guess that's just how it is with progress. Sometimes it's so gradual that you can barely even see it. Sometimes it's just slow. But there have definitely been some breakthrough moments this year. And let's not forget our wins as we wind up the year. It's been a good run, and I'm really excited to see what goodness lies ahead. How about you? Let me know how you're feeling as the year ends. Are you happy with what you've accomplished?
So that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed sort of having a cup of tea with me and hearing me chat about my dance goals and some of my thoughts on life. I've had fun being with you. And yes, I just want to say thank you for all of your, the many ways that you support my creative journey. Whether you're a subscriber or whether you just give me a thumbs up, all of it is good. And if you're not a subscriber as yet, I invite you to become one. Hit the subscribe button. I would love it if you do that. So yeah, until next time, I wish you the very best, and I'll see you soon. Bye.